And if you also have a history of locking animals in hot cars and coming very close to killing them, yeah, I definitely think that you are not responsible enough to own animals. Hey bitch, and welcome back to me talking about people I hate. I know that pretty much every single person is aware of who the Slaton sisters are. If you're not, do you even exist? If you're unfamiliar though, the Slaton sisters, Tammy and Amy, are very famous mostly for their physique and the outrageous antics on their show that has been airing on TLC for the last 3 seasons, which is called 1,000-Pound Sisters. But in today's video, we are not here to discuss their size, we're not here to discuss their antics or their myriad of controversies on the internet. We are here today to discuss possibly the most controversial sisters on the internet and their animal abuse history. This is something that I feel is so incredibly overlooked by so many YouTube content creators who have been calling them out, and even just internet sources. I don't understand why these people are kind of just given a slap on the wrist in a way.
It's harder on me to get up and do things for myself, and you know it is.
Yeah, but it's hard on me too, Tammy.
But you guys, before we get into today's video, we are going to thank today's amazing sponsor. And today's sponsor is, of course, Yours app. We've worked together several times and I absolutely love this company. Meditation is something that is super near and dear to my heart and my life. Meditation is something that I think is so important, not only for your everyday life, but even just your family, your animals, etc., etc. I meditate with my animals every single day. I do yoga every single day. It's just something that I find to be so important for everyone's everyday health and wellness. Yours app is mindfulness made easy for you. Their app helps rejuvenate your body, mind, and soul with musical soundscapes, meditations, sleep stories, and advice from their team of experts and psychologists. On this app, you can find more than 300 different activities to curate your perfect self-care routine. With Yours app, you can truly become the best version of yourself every day. We all know that what everyone's been going through over the last few years is incredibly stressful, so I think it's so important for everybody every single day to just take some time to yourself and really just focus on your life and your purpose and reflect inwards, and Yours app is just phenomenal. This is something that I do every single morning and every single evening, and I also do it whenever I'm done riding with Link. We usually like to sit and meditate for a little bit, which is something I openly talk about on my Instagram. So you guys, if you would like to try Yours app, you can click my link down below. Definitely check them out. I love them. They've been a huge help for me and my personal life, and they've also been a huge help for this channel. So we love a good sponsor. Let's go ahead and let's get into the video. So I really had no idea that the Slaton sisters were kind of, in a way, animal abusers until I watched Sunny V2's YouTube video that he put out on them about a week ago. I'm really big into his content, but something that I feel is so glossed over by people who call them out for their many controversies, because they've had so many. I think all of their other controversies have really glossed over the most important ones, which are the animal abuse and neglect allegations against them, which is important that we discuss because they have animals still to this day. It worries me whenever I see people who regularly get away with animal abuse or neglect and people kind of just brush it off or normalize it. It's not normal, okay? Let's talk about it.
I'm glad you're not pregnant right now, Amy.
My dog might be.
What?
My dog might be.
She might be pregnant.
But I don't want her to get pregnant right now because she's 19.
It's safe.
No, it's not. She old as dirt like mom. Her breast milk will be dirt.
So in this video, I'm going to be intertwining Amy and Tammy together just because they have lived together for the majority of their lives and they lived together at the time of these controversies, and they're both equally responsible for the animals that lived under their roof and under their care at these particular times. And just a little disclaimer before I get into some medical claims and medical discussions, I am not a licensed veterinarian. I'm currently in vet school, but I do not have my DVM. So take what I say however you want to take it. It is thus far just my opinion. Little Bit is Amy and Tammy's Chihuahua that has been with them since before their TLC show, which has been on for now 3 seasons. Since episode 1 of season 1, we get to see Little Bit appear in their show, but they have had Little Bit for assuming several years before their TLC show even began. Last year, in February of 2021, there was a video that was resurfaced and re-uploaded by some old-time fans and subscribers of Amy and Tammy back before their TLC show when they had a YouTube channel. This video was deleted, but it's essentially Tammy saying that they locked their Chihuahua Little Bit in a hot car for, 30 minutes, and she just didn't really seem to care.
I feel bad for a little bit because she sat outside in the hot car while we were having fun. But I did, while we were at getting something to eat, I did get a little bit some ice water. So I thought about her, at least.
So I thought about her. I love how you can leave your dog in a hot car for 30 minutes and bring them nothing but ice water and say that, well, I thought about her, so it's okay. And when this video resurfaced of Tammy Slaton essentially admitting to animal cruelty and neglect, there was another video that resurfaced, which I wasn't able to find. I think that they have been taking it down off YouTube, but it's essentially of her sister Amy discussing that years prior they had a German Shepherd that they literally locked in their RV for 30 plus minutes, and it's the same exact situation. Celebrity Amy Slaton recently revealed the traumatic experience of being attacked by a dog, and then continues to go on and say that the dog attacked her because she had locked the German Shepherd inside the RV, but the RV had an air conditioner running, so it was cold, and then said she gave the dog plenty of water to drink. Sounds really familiar to what Tammy was just saying about, yeah, she locked Little Bit in a car for 30 minutes, but she still gave her cold water to drink, so it's okay. The dog essentially broke out of the RV and went freaking nuts because it was dehydrated, probably hyperthermic, and was close to dying of heat stroke and lashed out at her. And then she acts like she's the victim, and oh, poor me. The dog ended up going to animal control, and I don't know if the dog was euthanized or not, but it sounds like it was. Not to speculate, but in general, when an animal bites a person, especially if it's a severe bite like what you see in these photos, generally speaking, the animal is euthanized. But in these types of situations, it's really difficult to blame an animal for lashing out at a person when the person is openly admitting to locking their animal in a car. And this seems to be a trend for the sisters Amy and Tammy, is repeatedly locking their animals in vehicles, especially if they're openly admitting to doing it twice. And you know what's really scary, you guys? There's literally fans of theirs, which is why I'm making this video, who openly defend them. Personally, there's too little information to go hating these people for leaving a dog in a car. All we know by her claim is that the day was hot, but we don't know how hot just based on that. Was it boiling, searing temperatures, or slightly above average? It also matters how long they left the dog, which we have no idea on. Did they walk into a store, grab something to eat, and come back in a minute, or did they leave the dog in there for 10 minutes or an hour? Was the air conditioner in the car on or not? Did the dog have shade? Oh god, I can't even listen to this, for real. Please do not go and defend people who literally come seconds away from murdering their animals. Something that happens all too often is people downplaying how severely harmful it is to an animal's health, safety, and well-being to leave them locked in a car. It doesn't even matter if it's a really hot day. Temperatures in cars, as you can see by this chart that was updated by the Veterinary Medical Association, rise quite a lot once the car is sitting in the sunlight, even if it's not that hot outside. Most animals can sustain serious brain damage and die of heat stroke in just 15 minutes. And that's not an excuse to leave your dog in a car as long as you're back before 15 minutes. You just shouldn't leave your dog in a car, period. They said they were inside an arcade for 30 minutes and the only reason they didn't take Little Bit in is because they couldn't take dogs in. Then maybe you shouldn't go into an arcade. Is it that important for you to go into an arcade that you're gonna risk the health, safety, and well-being of your animal? More than 50 to 100 dogs per year die of being locked inside hot cars, and that might not sound like a large number, but it's a large number considering that you should know better at this point. This is something that's completely preventable, and people still kill their animals this way.
He's gotta be. I can't imagine. If it's been in there all night, it's in the floorboard on this side. It's behind the driver's seat.
He's dead, I want her. Arrested. Arrest her, the damn dog's dead.
Alright, come here. You're being detained right now, okay?
No, they're arresting me, Phil.
As posted by Dr. Katie Nelson, this is exactly what happens to your dog's body when left in a hot car. Unlike humans, dogs are unable to sweat. They rely mainly on their respiratory tract to dissipate heat. Dogs can also lose heat through dilation of the blood vessels of the skin and increase cardiac output, but this is generally only effective in the hairless areas of the body. As ambient temperatures increase and approach core body temperatures in dogs, panting becomes much more important for cooling the animal. However, when the ambient humidity is also increased, panting becomes less efficient, making it more difficult for dogs to regulate their body temperature. Normal dog temperatures are between 100.5 to 102.5 degrees Fahrenheit, and heat stroke is defined by extreme hyperthermia body temperatures between 106 and 109 degrees Fahrenheit. And this results in severe thermal injuries to body tissues, including the dog's circulatory system, kidneys, liver, GI tract, and even their central nervous system. Mortality from dogs experiencing heat stroke is approximately 50% and worsens with every wasted second. So long story short, if you wouldn't leave your kids inside a locked car for any period of time, it's safe to assume that you should not leave your animals inside a locked car for any period of time. It's not safe, it's reckless, it's dangerous, and most importantly, it's entirely avoidable. And this brings me to my next point in talking about the Slaton sisters, is their ability to actually properly care for their animals. Something that we see in the show quite often is both Tammy and Amy consistently talking about how it's difficult difficult for them to take care of themselves. When you own an animal, it's of the utmost importance that you take proper care of that animal, and it becomes increasingly more problematic and increasingly more difficult for the animal when the person becomes less and less mobile. I just personally believe that if you cannot take the proper care of yourself, then you should not be responsible for any animals at the moment. And if you also have a history of locking animals in hot cars and coming very close to killing them, yeah, I definitely think that you are not responsible enough to own animals. So I want to end with that message of, if you can barely care for yourself, you probably shouldn't have an animal. But you guys, I love you so much. Thank you so much for watching today's video. Thank you so much again to Yours App for sponsoring this video. Please check them out. They are one of my favorite sponsors. I've worked with them time and time again, and they are the best. So thank you so much again to Yours App for sponsoring this video. That link is going to be below. Otherwise, I love you, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!